My name is Kaya Coleman. I play Jolie in Beyond Black Beauty, and we're here with Young Entertainment.
Our thing at Young Entertainment is to be a masterclass for moments of acting and music in the field. So we were wondering what it was like for you in the audition process and what you did to get ready for that.
Yeah, so I originally sent in a self-tape, and from there was a live Zoom call back, and then from there was a third final in-person callback that was in Toronto. So they flew me to Toronto for that third in-person callback. And I think for me, I was in the process of auditioning, and I was just like, I had three other projects that I was also interested in and that we were getting, callbacks from. So I was in the groove. I was grounded. I was taking classes. It was a really good timing, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm sure it worked out so good and because the show is amazing and it was cast so well. So that's so cool. Okay. So we spoke with Pilar and she mentioned that the weather played a role in the filming process. So we were wondering if that was a factor for you at all while you were filming.
I think we were really lucky that we filmed in late summer and early fall. So we had mostly really good weather. There was days it was like really hot or like really windy. I do know there's like one day that we were filming a training scene and it started raining, and my horse in the show, he does not like rain, so he was like really moody. And I also was like in a white shirt and I was also moody. And there's like this great photo of me sitting on the horse, and I have like a paper towel on my helmet because the helmet couldn't get wet, and the horse is sad and I'm there, and we're like, we got to do this in the rain. But for the most part we had really good weather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's such a big factor. I feel like that was such a little blessing. So that's super cool.
Yeah, working with horses because they're sensitive animals, and like I know that we had multiple horses, but like specifically Kid, his name was Kid. He did not like rain. So like when it rained, he was definitely like very like antsy and like moody. So it's funny. They have their own personalities.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like kind of even dogs do that too, where they don't like rain and they get all a little
Yeah.
bit anxious during rain. So
Yeah.
that's so cool. It's like a cool parallel. But
Yep.
working with horses seems like it would be so much fun. Was there any technical things that you needed to do work with horses?
Yeah, I one of the first things I learned was how to hit a mark with a horse. So, it's like it's you just walk up to the mark as the actor, but now when you're on an animal that is much bigger than you, and like if you're doing like there's an episode where I'm doing like, little like barrel turns and we have to like stop at a mark. Like that was definitely its own fun challenge. But the horses, they're like dogs. They're so smart. They're very well trained. You pattern them first. So I was very fortunate that I got to pattern my own horse a lot of the times. So it means that you do like the practice run. And then so that when the cameras come up, the horse already knows when to stop. So that was like a really cool thing I got to learn.
That is super cool. I love horses, so this is super
Yeah.
exciting for me.
Oh, I will talk all about horses all day now. Like I love
Yeah.
them too.
Before the show, did you ever did you have any experience with horses, or is this kind of the first little jump
This
in
is
there?
the first jump in for sure. I pet my like first and like pet and like brushed my first horse maybe 6 months before I booked this job. But that's it. Like it was definitely a lot of new experiences for me.
Yeah, that's so cool though. A new fun little piece of the puzzle that you have. So
Yeah. Well, I was just like, I never thought I'd have the opportunity to do it growing up because as you know, like having access to horses and training in stables. So like I was just like so grateful that I got a chance to be around these animals, knowing that it takes a whole community to raise them, to feed them, to train them. And I was like, this character lives, sleeps, breathes, horses. So I really wanted to bring that to life.
yeah, absolutely. That's so cool. I feel like that would make sense. If you had a horse of your own in real life, what would you name it?
Oh wow. I really so well the horse that we worked with, his name was Kid, and he was so cute. I actually really wanted to buy him afterwards. But it's horses are a lot of work, as you know. So I actually haven't even thought of like what would I want to name them? Aw, I have to think about that.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I was
Yeah, I
like,
could do like midnight. I don't know, like a
yeah, that's a good one. I feel like also giving a horse a name is kind of a big job. You would have to like meet them too. I feel
I was gonna
like
say I gotta meet the personality. I gotta see how they move. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so there's a fight scene by the lockers in the show that looked pretty intense. We were wondering if you could break it down and like tell us how you guys filmed it.
Yeah, so the person who I'm fighting in the scene, I don't know if I can, if it's a spoiler to share her name, but she's played by a good friend of mine named Maya, Maya J. Bastides. We knew each other going into it, and it's actually quite funny because I'm like, wow, we get to, fight each other today. So we had that trust already built, and we also had a stunt coordinator who walked us through the beats. But of course, like, I mean, Maya is so incredibly talented and experienced, and she had like done fight scenes before. This is like my second one, so like she really guided the process, and it was yeah, it was intense in a good way.
Yeah, that's so cool. I always like I feel like it's something that's super cool to do to add
Mm.
in like fight scenes just because they're in my mind to film them. It's probably so hard, but it pays off. So
That was our first day of shooting. Yeah, we like literally like was our first day shooting. Like you're and like all we had all the other students around, and they were like yelling, and I was like, wow, this is a what a wild way to start the show.
yeah, yeah, they're like 0 to 100.
Yeah,
That's super
literally.
cool though. Cool little inside scoop there. Awesome. Um, as like an actor, there's a couple of moments that you have to cry on cue. So is that something that you are like good at and something that you've had to do before? Or like what's your like your process for that?
I think that crying is a release, and it definitely is a practice to learn how to allow yourself to release. I think that I connected the most to the grief and to the disappointment. And those are feelings that we've all felt, but you just have to allow yourself to feel it while cameras are there and people are fixing your clothes, and like and that just comes with practice. And I think Jolie cries a lot, so I had a lot of practice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doing that. So,
Super cool. So I always like think about that every time. I'm like,
mm.
I wonder.
The
So
goal is to get to a point where you don't have to think about any like pain or any trauma. And the like what I really like the lucid body technique for that reason, because you work with like the energies, and like when you're crying, it's like in your heart center, and it's like how to connect to that like neutral energy without having to be like, oh, and imagine when my dog died, or like I really don't like using that technique. I'd rather just be like, what does it feel like when my heart is heavy? What does it feel like when I feel like my roots are not rooted, and then just letting that come forward.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a like very a mature way to look at it too. Because I'm
If
like,
it's the healthier, I try, yeah, it's like we want to be healthy when we're doing the work, because sometimes it's easy to like, and there's definitely times where I had to do shortcuts and be like, think of something sad, but for the most part, I try to come from neutral energy.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So cool, so cool. I love the fashion choices that are in this show. Like Jolie has some cool looks. What was that like for you? Were you like getting to put in little a bit of your own spice or was it kind of picked out?
It was all picked out. I wasn't a part of that process, but I do know that they had to like keep in mind of my stunt doubles when they were doing all the riding wear, like all the English and Western riding wear. Like if I had a stunt, like they need to have like 3, 4, 5 outfits for me in case it gets dirty, and for the stunt double. So I know that like played a big role in those outfits. But one of my favorite outfits is it's like a blue outfit that I wear on a date with Alvin. That was probably like one of my favorite.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, that's super cool. Speaking of Alvin, we
Mm.
were wondering, you guys like have a little kiss in a scene in episode 5, and we were wondering if you guys had like a coordinator for that or if it was like a natural thing. But yeah,
Yeah, I think that so like Alvin and Jolie have a really um I would say like a really great relationship arc, and Akel and I from the beginning were just like we built the trust to like let's bring this to life. And I felt like we didn't have an intimacy coordinator, but we were just like we're both adults. We've had kissing scenes before, and we were just like we're gonna this is what we're
yeah,
gonna do. And I think it was like a beautiful moment in the script, because it's their first kiss, not their last one. And It was great working with Cal. I remember in our chemistry reads, we did an audition scene where we're supposed to like scream into hay bales, and we both were like the only people that brought pillows to scream into. So I remember like, we both had like brought the pillow up, and I was like, okay, we were both on the same page, like very synchronous.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool. I love it. Love it, love, love. So, the entertainment industry is such a challenging place to be. So, how does it feel to like have achieved your dreams of like acting and becoming a professional actress?
Wild. I mean, I still feel like I'm making my dreams my reality. There's still so much more to learn. I've only been doing this for a few years, like really doing this. So I'm just like really grateful that I get to practice and to be able to work on set. And like it's an interesting process because like I said, I'm like new, I'm practicing and it's very visible for people to see. So that's definitely a great learning experience.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, we're so confident that this show's going to take off. And when it does, what do you want to hear from the fans?
I love that. And I would love to hear that they felt seen or that they saw themselves reflected in our characters or our stories.
Yeah,
And that they
for
like the
sure.
horse stuff, of course.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. That's so exciting. I always love a good horse thing too, because it's like, oh, I kind of relate to that part of it as well. So,
Yeah. Oh, you
um,
rode horses?
I'm from Texas and
Okay.
we have a very, I never have had a horse of my own, but a lot of like friends live in the middle. We live in the middle of nowhere. We have cows, which is not the same, but
They're still cute, but yeah, not really riding them.
right, because like you said, it's a lot of work, and we just never like had the like time to manage a horse on my own. But a lot of friends had them, and it was super cool. I love getting to ride them and be around them. They're just like big dogs to
Yeah,
me.
I know they are. They're so beautiful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Very, I love to feel like a cowgirl too. So, if the show's picked up for season two, what would you like to see from Jolie?
I think I'm interested in seeing her step into her role as a teacher and advocator. I think it'd be really interesting to see her navigate, romantic and personal family relationships alongside her budding, career as a horseback rider. Because as you know, when you're in the equestrian world, you're traveling a lot, you're working a lot, and like it's almost like kind of like being an actor. It's like I could be here for 4 months and then here 3 months and then so it'd be cool to see like how the long distance affects her interpersonal relationships.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Great answer. We have one last little question and then kind of a little like rapid fire
Oh.
round, and then that's about it. But the last thing I was going to ask was, what was the biggest challenge of this project and how did you overcome it?
I think the biggest challenge was how fast we were shooting. We shot 12 episodes in 3 months. We had a little bit of a break in between, but during that break, I was training in Belgium on horses. So I was like, it was not really a break. So we were moving really quickly. We had really long days, really big days. But thankfully, my mom, my aunt, and my cousin in the show, played by Sajine Seymajuste, Lisa Berry, and Gina James, they were incredibly supportive. I feel like the story is about us, and they were there for me every step of the way. It was my first, lead in a TV show, and they were so supportive. They're so good at what they do. They were there, they were my rocks, and I feel like we got through it together, and we
Yeah,
did it.
yeah,
Yeah.
love, love, love. Great result too. So
Thank you.
amazing, amazing. Okay, so we'll kind of, these are like firsts, like little fun questions about like your like past experience on set
Okay.
and stuff like that. So we'll go fast if you give like a short little answer for all of them, and then I
Okay.
will let you get on with your day. Cool. Okay, so the
Okay.
first one is, what's the first time that you were on a set?
I was probably about 5 years old for a Calgary Stampede commercial.
Wow. Okay. What is your first audition?
I do think it was that Calgary Stampede commercial, if I
Okay.
remember correctly.
Cool, cool. First time you had to cry on cue.
Uh, Probably for an audition once upon a time. I can't remember when.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
A celebrity you would want to work with, like an actress or actor.
Um, Issa Rae or Jeremy Pope.
Okay. Favorite line from a TV show or film?
I think of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the cartoon. Guru Patik says, "The greatest illusion is the illusion of separation."
Cool, cool.
I love
Um,
that show.
yeah. Your favorite song that gets you like pumped up before a filming or a scene?
I would say it's Everyday People by Arrested Development.
Uh-huh. Okay, cool. Um, favorite
That's
snack
like
to
old school
eat?
song, but
Yeah, no, love an old soul too. Favorite snack to eat behind the scenes?
the Welch's gummies.
Good answer.
I just had them yesterday on set, so
Love, love, love. And then the very last one is the first like TV show or film that inspired you to become an actor.
Bring It On with Gabrielle Union and Kirsten Dunst.
So good, so good. Such a good answer. Cool,
It's
cool.
Kaya Coleman, Jolie from Beyond Black Beauty, and we're here with Young Entertainment.